All right, guys. So get paid to let people drive your car, right? Most people may have heard about this. Some people haven't heard about this, but Turo has been around for at least 5 years now. And in the beginning, people were kind of sleeping on it. It had another name before Turo, but now it is Turo, and you can find it on the App Store. You can find it on the internet. It's actually getting bigger. It's opening up in a lot of new markets. I know Hawaii just went super crazy with Turo because recently there was a chip deficiency or something like that was going on where people couldn't get chips. So our rental car companies didn't have that ability to rent out cars. So people were really running towards Turo the last maybe 3 to 4 months. And you're seeing like a super influx in that. So we're going to be able to just show you how to utilize maybe a car that you have, or maybe a car that you have access to. So with this, I want you just to be able to learn about mobile real estate, right? You know, being able to use your car as like a sense of real estate, just like you have a house or anything else. Turo 101, how to list your car, how to protect yourself, and how to scale up. These are the most important things that I found for myself as I was getting started. These were the most important pieces because I was like, okay, well, what do I do if something happens to my car? What the heck is Turo? How do I scale up once I start making money? So all those things we're going to be able to tap into tonight and be able to give you that. For those who don't know me, my name is Rhonda. I've been an entrepreneur now for the last 10 plus years. And for me, I've tried a lot of different things, right? I've tried a clothing line, record label, drop shipping, a marketing agency, a gym owner, a Forex academy, wholesale real estate, and now mobile real estate. And the reason why I gravitated to this more because I realized that time freedom is the biggest thing, right? Whether you have a job or whatever it is that you're doing, time freedom is the biggest piece that most people are missing. You may have all the money in the world, but if you don't have the time, it really doesn't matter. So once I realized the importance of just being able to list a car, letting people drive your car, and taking your emotions away from it. Right now, some people are attached to their car. Oh my God, it's my car. I love it. What if I get a scratch? What happens if something, somebody wrecks it, right? We have this emotional attachment to the car. But statistics say that most people's cars sit about 85% of the time. So you got to think every month you're paying a car note for a car that's sitting 85% of the time when you can actually be making money on that and maybe possibly driving the car of your dreams and having other people pay for it. So that's what really drew me to this platform, because I was like, okay, well, my car is just sitting here. Half the time I'm either, Ubering because I hate driving, or, I'm out of town or things like that. So the car is really just sitting. It's not making me any money, but yet I'm paying the insurance every month and I'm paying the car note every single month, no matter what. Okay. So what is mobile real estate, right? Skip the rental car counter and go straight to Turo. Most people, when you have to rent a car, you have to be a certain age. You have to have a credit card. You have to be able to put down a deposit. And a lot of times for the amount of money that most people want to spend, they're going to put you in the economy car, right? That little small baby car that nobody wants to drive around. Nobody feels like it's cool. So as soon as you say, okay, I only want to spend $50 a day, or I want to spend $60 a day, you're getting the most cheap basic car available at the rental car place, right? Hertz, Dollar, Thrifty, any of those places, you're not really going to get what you're paying for, and you're not going to be happy about it, right? So 2 things people are always going to need, right? They're going to need a place to stay, and they're going to need a car to drive. Whenever you're traveling out of town, you always going to, okay, where's the nearest transit, or where's the bus, where's the train, where's this, where's that? And you're looking for a place to stay, right? So you got to think about Turo as the Airbnb for cars. The same way people rent out Airbnbs or hotels is the same way people are going to rent out cars. So why not be available to offer them one or both, right? If you don't have Airbnbs yet, you can at least start with the Turos and offer them a car, and then say, hey, if it's in an area with high Airbnb traffic, you can make sure that you're in that area, or you deliver to that area, or you offer your car in that area, because people are coming and they're going to need a car and they're going to need a place to stay no matter what. Okay. So where to start? You want to start with the Turo app. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to get on Turo. It's absolutely free. You can set up your account, right? Setting up your account is really, really important, whether you want to get started today, tomorrow, whatever the case may be, in case there's any errors on your application or anything like that. It's not a real application where you get denied or approved. It's pretty much just to get your ID on file, your phone number, your email. They're going to verify all those things. And the last thing you want is like you're ready to go and then your account's not verified. So you can always just set up your account today, already have it set up and ready on ice for when you're ready to go. All right. So you can download the mobile app because it makes it very, very easy to have the app on your phone. Most people aren't on the computer all the time. So you want to get used to looking at the app from your phone being able to navigate it, knowing how to look at your bookings, how to contact your guests, things like that, because the app is way easier than the website itself. The next thing you want to do is market research. You want to find out what cars are renting out in your area. What are some of the base prices in your area? What cars are not listed there? What are some of the super hosts in your area who are doing really good? You want to kind of see what your competition is. So do a little bit of research, because most people will say, well, what's the car that's selling in your area? What's the best car to buy? What should I do, right? I don't know that based on your area. I'm in Houston, Texas, so I know what my area is doing. We have a lot of hospitals here. We have the stadium. We have a lot of things where people travel into our city. So a lot of people are booking and renting cars here because that's just our market. But you may be in Wisconsin. You may be in an area somewhere where people aren't renting a lot of cars, or you may be in an area where there's snow or something like that, and you need a particular type of car. You may be in Miami where people like drop tops. They like to be out in the sun. California, that may not work in another city. So it's hard to navigate or to say one particular car is better than another car. So you have to do your market research for yourself. And once you find a host that's working or a host that's doing really well, just copy them. There's nothing wrong with copying them. There's nothing wrong with duplication. If it's working for them, go ahead and copy it, do the same thing. And if it's not in your area and you find another area, you can still copy that host. Their same descriptions, their same titles. If you guys have the same cars, do that. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If it's already working for somebody, just do the same thing. And the last piece is going to be listing your car. Listing your car is so important because it's going to make or break whether you get bookings or not, right? One step wrong, if you don't have something set up properly, if you don't have something turned on, that's going to make where people can't book the car. You're sitting there looking like, why is nobody booking? What's going on? You may have missed a step for drop off or a step for pickup. The last piece is getting good pictures. Getting good pictures. Nobody wants to see these dusty, foggy pictures you took with your Android phone. If you have to, hire a professional. If you don't know how to take pictures, go on Craigslist, go on somewhere and just ask somebody to come take a couple of pictures of your car. Think about, there's a million cars on the platform. What's going to make your car stand out? What's going to make your car different? And then copy your description. You want your description to make people like, okay, dang, that car is cool. I want that car, right? AC blows like snow. The beautiful black interior glows at night. The LED H lights, whatever, it's going to be this, they're going to be that. You want to be very descriptive when you describe your car, because that's going to build that experience for your customer, right? You don't want to be, oh, the AC blows good, the tires are good, it's great on gas, and that's it, right? People are going to be like, okay, and so what, right? They're going to go to the next car. They're going to go to the next person because yours just wasn't inviting. It wasn't intriguing. It didn't make them feel like they should be getting your car. You have to understand that there's a lot of cars. You're not the only car. And if you're going to have competitive pricing, you have to find something that's going to make your car stand out or make your listing stand out. All right. So I want to actually go into the app itself and kind of just show you guys what that looks like. All right. I'm going to be using my actual account that currently has one car because I want it to be realistic before there's too many cars on here. And most people are going to be starting out with one car anyway, right? So I'm already a host. I'm going to go into my vehicle. All right, so you get to list your vehicle and you get to take the pictures and things like that. So I'm gonna go to edit listing. When you go into edit listing, you're gonna get all these tabs on the left-hand side. So your calendar, your pricing, discount, location, delivery. I want you to start from the top and work your way down so that you don't miss anything. Because like I said before, everything is important. So your calendar is here. Of course, when you get started, you won't have anything in your calendar. Pricing and discounts. Pricing and discounts is important, like I said. So how much will you earn? You can click these little tabs and it'll tell you. You can set automatic pricing. I like to use automatic pricing because it allows Turo to price your car based on what's going on, right? So if they're telling me my recommended price is 35 and 77, so I have it at 45 and 80, right? I don't have it at the super low, but I don't have it super high either. So you can kind of find that middle. The worst thing you can do is they're telling you 35 and you go and list your car for 75 or 85. Now, if you don't know your market, you're going to put that price and you're not going to be getting bookings and you're going to think it's not working. Now, out the gate, you want to set these prices at least to the lowest price. So that way you can get a bunch of bookings and get great reviews. So in the beginning, you might take a little bit of a hit, be like, oh man, I'm only making 35 or I'm making $77, but you're getting 10 or 20 reviews, which is going to boost you up. So now when people come look at your listing, they're going to be like, dang, she got 20 reviews. Everybody's saying all these great things about her. Okay, cool. And then later you can come back in and you can up the price. So you can set this to be off or on. I like to keep it on, and then you can change it. So if you want to go and manage certain things like the holidays or different weekends when there's events in your city, you can come to manage pricing calendar and you can change it based on certain days. So like recently had 4th of July, right? 4th of July weekend, I definitely changed these prices. I upped it to about $85 a day, and I got 2 bookings. I had to decline one, but the other one actually went through, but I was able to get it 85 because there was a lot of visitors in the city for the holiday. So you can adjust these, whenever there's something going on. And you can also drop them if you want to offer discounts too. Okay. So last minute boosting, things like that, 8% price boost. So if somebody wants to book your car like super last minute, this is kind of tricky because if you're not available at your car, or you're not going to be able to get to your car instantly when somebody books it, I wouldn't really mess with the instant last minute pricing booking, because if you're say 5 hours away or 3 hours away and you can't make it to your car, that's going to mess up your ratings if you have to cancel a booking. Okay. But you can get a price boost when people are trying to book last minute. Now here you can do different discounts at the bottom, right? 3-day discount, 7-day discount, 30-day discount. That's for people who want to have the car for an extended amount of time or something like that. And then early bird, 7 days in advance. If somebody's booking early enough, you can give them a discount. So that means you already know that you're solidifying some money early on just by giving somebody a 5% discount. Now you may not feel it, it's 5%. You can change this to a 10%, something like that. I wouldn't go 10%, but 5% is cool. So that way you can do all your pricing here. And again, you don't want to skip anything. Location and delivery. This is one of the biggest pieces that you can make a lot of additional money on. Now you can have it where people pick up the car from your home. They can come to your home. Like if you live in an apartment, it works really well. If you're in an apartment, like myself, I live in an apartment, people can come to me. They can meet me in the front of the building. We have guest parking, so I can park the car on the guest level and they can come get the car. Well, let's say you live at your home and you don't want people to know. You may have street parking. You can park the car there and you can meet the person there. You can get a lockbox to put in the car, and then they can just pick it up from the lockbox, and you can have contactless, whatever you choose, right? So for me, I like to be able to have it where they can pick it up for me. So a pickup from your location, your home location, is absolutely free. They don't have to pay for that. So if somebody comes in to the airport, they can Uber to me and come pick the car up. They pay nothing, okay? They pick the car up from the one spot and they return the car to the exact same spot, all right? So I have 2 airports in my city. One is really close to me and one is really far from me. So the one that's close to me is this airport here. I charge $110 to take that car to that person. So they want me to meet them at the airport. We all know airports are crazy. The traffic in and out, like it's a hassle. No one really likes going to an airport. So I'm charging them $110 additional on top of whatever it costs, how many days, to be able to pick up and drop off at the airport. Now, depending on where you're located, you want to figure out what your setup is at your airport. Some airports don't allow you to sit. Some you have to like keep rotating around. Some you have a parking lot. It all varies. So you want to make sure you find out how your airport works. Now mine, I'm pretty good. I can actually just tell the person, hey, meet me, let me know when you come out and let me know what airline you're flying in, and I can just pull up and meet you there. It works just fine. Now the other airport in my city, it's a little further away. It's about 45 to 50 minutes. It could be an hour and a half if there's traffic. So I actually turned that location completely off because I just don't want to deal with it. But I know some people charge $175 to go to the international airport. You can put whatever price you want. If it's an inconvenience for you, you can definitely say, hey, 175, 150, whatever you choose. Now, let's just say you live really close to that airport, maybe a 5 or 10 minute drive. That's actually a benefit for you because you're so close that it doesn't affect you, but you can still put a higher ticket on it and the people still are going to pay because they don't want to pay for an Uber to get to your home location. They feel like, okay, I'd rather just pay the upfront fee now and don't have to worry about it. Now, the one thing you have to worry about is the early morning pickups, right? Some people fly out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Some people fly out at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've had 2 people wanting me to meet them at 5 a.m. because their flights were at 7 o'clock. So those are the things you want to really think about. And you can change times, you can change availabilities, all that stuff on the next page. But you want to make yourself as available as possible so that you don't miss any money. All right. So then I have another pickup option where I can, for $75, I will drop it up to 25 miles from my home location. I live in a prime location in the city. I live in a medical center. So there's a lot of hospitals. There's the stadium. I'm like really in the center of all the highways. So a lot of people already stay in this area when they come to the city anyway. So being able to drop off 25 miles is not that far from my house. I really don't mind it, but I'm still going to charge them $75 because it's an inconvenience, right? I have to get in the car. I have to either have somebody follow me or I have to take the car to them and then Uber back to my house. So either way, I'm going to have to pay some money or I'm going to have to inconvenience someone else to ride with me to go drop the car off. So that $75 covers, whatever that is. And this can be whatever you choose. You can make it $50, $25, whatever you want. Some people have free delivery. Houston is too big of a market for me to put a free delivery and someone be an hour away. That's not happening. So you have to know your city to know if you're going to be able to offer free delivery or not. Okay. So you can offer a bunch of other little delivery options, kind of whatever you choose to do. Okay. Guest instructions. Now, guest instructions, you can tell them, like if you have a keyless, if you have a handoff that you don't want to meet people, you can tell them what to do. This is what's going to happen when they reserve the car. You can say, hey, the key's going to be in the gas tank. Hey, call me and I'll let you know where the key is. Or you can tell them, hey, go through this gate. The car is going to be here. This is the instructions that you tell them, right? So mine says, please meet me at the front of my complex near the leasing office. I will meet you and go over the car details and the complete check-in process, right? So you can tell them before the keys are handed over, please understand no out-of-state travel because people will take your car out of town. You can see the terms of service say you can't tell people where to go in the car, but I would like at least to know, right? I may not turn it down, but I want to know if you're taking my car to Mexico. I want to know if you're going somewhere crazy in my car, just so I can have that, in my mind. Now, I've had someone book my car for one day and all of a sudden they went over like 200 miles. And I'm like, there's no way that you can, have the car for one day and go over 200 miles when you already had an allotted mile, right? So that stuff is all there. And then you can just tell them kind of whatever you want to hear, whatever you choose. I let them know I have a tracker. I let them know about fees, all those things I let them know so they can't say they didn't get it because they're going to get it once they get booked, right? And then you have your welcome message and then you have your car guide. I let them know about no smoking, no pets, whatever you want to put, make sure it's here so that that person, it pops up, it's automatically going to generate. So they can't say, oh, well, I didn't know that, or nobody told me. They can't say that any of those things because they received it because it's built into the Turo app itself. All right, so those things you want to set up right here. And then, like I said, photos. Photos are extremely, extremely important. If you don't do anything else, take good photos, good lighting, making sure you see the car from all sides, front, side, back, inside. Those things, that's how the car sells, right? You got to think about people are looking at it with their eyes and they're scrolling through the Turo app and they're like, oh, shoot, this car pops. It stands out. It's in my price range. Let me look at it, right? If you have blurry pictures and your car is out of focus, it's out of frame, it's like it's not interesting to anyone. And then that's going to be one of the reasons why maybe your car is not even getting booked. So if you have to pay a professional, pay the professional. It's worth it, right? Somebody charges $100, pay them the $100, and that $100 is going to make you money over and over again because you have good photos, right? Don't be cheap. Don't halfway do it. I took these photos and then I put them in Photoshop and I enhanced the clouds. I put like a sun in there. Like I did all these extra pieces to make the car stand out. And believe it or not, a lot of people who booked the car said, dang, it was your photos that made me stop. That's the crazy part. So just taking that little bit of time to take good photos. Don't be lazy. And then your details. Now, the details, you're going to come in here. It's going to ask you about your car. You're going to tell everything about it, the car, the license plate, the state, all this stuff, number of seats. If you don't know for your car, you can go and Google it and you can find out number of seats. Like my car, it says it sits like 5, number of doors 4, gas regular. Make sure you know the gas grade for your car, right? Because if you have a car that takes like 93 and somebody puts the wrong gas in there, that'll mess up your car. So you want to be able to tell people that. Tell people what kind of gas goes in your car. Make sure you know what kind of gas goes in your car because that's a big piece that can ruin your car, right? All this stuff I got straight from the internet. So I don't know what city miles or highway miles were. I just looked it up, right? So you can click all these things. The more things you have here, of course, the more features, the more it's a selling point. Additional features, you can put it here. If you have like Sirius radio or anything extra to your car. So you have all that. And then like the description right here, I literally found my same car on Turo in another state and I copied it. I copied what the person had and I just put it here and I changed, everything that I wanted to change and I just put it on there, right? And I let people know that I sanitize between rentals. right? In the climate that we're in right now, most people were a little weary with like COVID and germs and stuff like that. So I let them know, hey, I sanitize between rentals, and I actually do. Like, I actually go into the car, I use sanitation spray and wipes, and I do all that, because you got to think someone's been in the car for 3 days, 4 days, touching stuff. We don't know what they did in the car. It's not my business. But I want to make sure once when I get in the car that it's clean, and then when I hand it off to the next person that it's also clean. And I like to keep that kind of stuff in the car as well. So in the car, I have hand sanitizer, I have disinfectant wipes, I have extra masks, tissue, a towel, stuff like that. Just because like when you're out and about, sometimes we forget our mask. You may go all the way to the store and then you don't have a mask. So you can just open the armrest, and I have a pack of masks that are unopened, untouched, and that helps people a lot. So just think about the little things, an umbrella, right? The stuff that you would have in your normal car that someone who's renting your car, they're not in their car. So there's the things that they don't even think about until they don't have it. So if you have it, that just adds an extra peace of mind. If you have FAQs about your car, maybe you have like an electric car, or you have a specialty car, you might want to put that stuff in here so people can know. Maybe you have like a Jeep and people want to know how to take the doors off or take the top off. All those things they might want to ask you, and you could put that here. Like I said, every car situation is totally different. You have your guidelines, which all that stuff is already built here. You can come and copy it. I let people know for sure about the pets, about the smoking. Nobody wants to get into a stinky, smoky car. Whether you smoke now, that lingering smell is going to be there for 2 or 3, 4, 5 trips later. That might hurt your rating when somebody gets in, they don't like smoke, or they have allergies, and that may bother them. So when that person breaks the rules, you have to be able to charge them. And it has to be in writing so that Turo honors it, right? Turo's not here. They can't smell the car, but you have to be able to prove that there was smoking in the car or there's a smell in the car. And there's a lot of like little things out there that you can buy to kind of kill the smell. There's some little machines you can get to kill the smell. But a lot of times when you set that fee and it's a little bit higher, people tend to think about it. Now, of course, you're going to have those people who just like, man, whatever, I'm just going to pay the fee. We all know that person. It's going to happen. And when that happens, you just got to deal with it. Because people do it in rental cars. People do it in Airbnbs. So you got to think, you've probably broken the rules before at an Airbnb, in a rental car. I'm pretty sure we all have. So you got to respect the fact that it's probably going to happen to you, but you can only do so much to kind of try to prevent it as much as possible. So setting a high fee is always really good. Pet fee, you can tell when there's a pet in the car, it's going to have pet hair. It's going to smell different. So you have to put that in there and let people know out the gate, right? So you got that color, all that, and then you're going to save it. The next thing are extras. Now, extras is where you get to make extra money. Now, like I said, prepaid fuel. I always fill the car up when I take it to somebody or they come pick it up. It's always on full. So again, I paid the first time to fill my car up. It takes about $45, right? I filled it up. When the next person brought it back, they filled it up. So I'm not putting gas every time. Every time the car comes back, it's already filled up because that's how it works, right? Now, somebody can come and say, I don't really want to deal with the gas. I don't want to have to fill it up. Cool, no problem. They're going to pay a $45 fee. Whether they come back on half, whether they come back on E, they're going to pay that $45 trip fee. If they select prepaid fuel, they don't have to pay anything. They've already paid for it, right? But now if they don't pay for it and they bring the car back, I get to charge them an inconvenience fee on top of the fuel fee. So let's just say somebody says, oh man, I was running late. I didn't get to do it. I'm sorry. Cool, no problem. I'm going to charge you though, right? So I charge them the $45 trip fuel fee, and then I charge them the inconvenience fee on top of it. So you get to make all that money. Turo only keeps 10% of that. So you make 90% on any of your extras. Then I have the post-trip cleaning fee. Some people, like I said, they don't want to clean the car. I give them the car full of gas. I wash the car, everything. So they bring it back, and let's say there's cups and napkins or sand on the floor, all these stuff, the car is just dirty. I'm charging the post-trip fee and I'm charging them the inconvenience fee. But if they pay the $20, that lets me know, hey, they're probably going to bring it back dirty or whatever the case may be. They've already paid for that, so they don't have to worry about it at the end of the trip. Now, if you have more of a luxury car or something like that, you may want to bring your trip fee up, right? Your trip cleaning fee up a little bit, maybe $50 if you want to take it and get it detailed or, you know, whatever the case may be. I'm not really tripping on that. I have a lot of different places I go to in the city, so it's not really a bother to me. But again, it's going to vary based on your connections, what you have, what's in your city. But you can add extras. I've seen people add coolers. Like if they're in a beach city and they have like a Jeep or they have like a truck, they'll add coolers. They'll add beach chairs. They'll add all these different things, picnic baskets, in their cars as extras. You can add whatever you want as an extra and you make money off of that. Think about it. The more conveniency that you offer a customer, the more they're going to pay. And then they're going to tell somebody, oh, it was so fun. Let me take the Jeep, right? One of my friends, he has a Jeep and he charges them extra to take the doors and the top off. So if you just get the car regular, cool, you can take it, but you can't take the tops and all that stuff off. If you want him to take it off and house the doors, he charges $150. So a lot of people who come to his city, they want to drive the Jeep. That's what they're coming for. They want that experience. They're all for it. So they pay the extra $100 for him to take all that stuff off. And he has to house it at his house. So that's just another fee that he gets to collect on top of the rental for the Jeep. Now with mine, I don't have any extras for my car. I just have the prepaid fuel and the post trip. But you can get really creative. You can do a lot of cool stuff on your extras. I've seen some cool stuff on there. Just get creative. I don't know what car you have, so I can't really tell you. Distance included. This one, I like this one because when you have unlimited miles, people can really take your car wherever, right? If you have my car for 5 days and I gave you unlimited miles, you can go wherever, all over the freaking states if you wanted to. And then of course, that's just putting wear and tear on the car that I'm not really, wanting to happen. So what you can have this offer on, I have mine off. I include 200 miles per day. So if they have the car for 3 days, they get 600 miles. If they have the car for 1 day, they get 200 miles. Now, like I was telling you guys earlier, the guy who rented the car for a day, he rented it and they went into the next day a little bit. So they gave him 2 days. He paid for, 1 day, but they ended up giving him 2. So he had 400 miles, right? He was gone from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. and he brought the car back and he was over 160 miles. Right. So that's why I said, there's no way that you use up 563 miles in less than 24 hours in one city. So I knew that he went out of town. So what happens is if they go over the allotted miles, the Turo charges them. You do what's called an incidental. You charge them based off how many miles they went over. And then it's like 0.63. So it's like 63 cents per mile. So that's cool. You can do like 250, 300, 500, whatever you want to do for your car. The more luxury cars, I wouldn't give them a whole bunch of miles because then people are like racing, they're doing crazy stuff with your car. So you can drop the miles down. So 200 has seemed to have been working for me. I haven't had anybody complain about it or say that it wasn't enough miles, but you really want to be careful with the unlimited, right? If you just don't care about the car and it is what it is, by all means, go unlimited. You'll get way more bookings, but then you got to just deal with whatever comes with the unlimited miles on the car. Okay, so they have a calculator that allows you to calculate the fees. But inside of the app, when the person rents the car, they take the car, it asks you the miles, right? You approve the miles, they approve the miles, right? And when they bring the car back, you then put the miles in where the car is at then, and then it subtracts the miles, and then it'll let you know if they went over or not. So you don't have to worry about any of that. All right. So you have protection. Your car is protected through Turo. Your car will be protected as long as it's booked. Now, if you're driving the car, you have to have your own insurance for your state, right? Because you're driving the car. But if someone books the car and they're in the car, anything that happens, they're protected. You're protected through the insurance on Turo. Okay. Now I'm going to go and break these plans down later, but I'm just showing you that I'm on a 60% plan, meaning I get 60% payout. Okay. 60% payout on all my trips. I don't have to pay any deductible, anything like that. So I'm good. 60%, I don't mind it. There's other plans that you get more payout, but it also comes with a little bit more deductible. All right. So I have my trip history, I have my trip preferences and things like that. So like I said, you can come here to trip preferences. You can say home location, book instantly. I don't have to approve it if they're picking it up from my house. Right. But if you're not home a lot or you're out and about, you may want them to be able to say, hey, I have to approve every booking. Maybe you want to vet the person out, see if you like them, see how long they've been on the app or things like that. But understand, instant book gets you way more bookings because people are ready to do it now. They don't want to wait for you to reply back to approve their booking. Now, like I said, if you have a luxury car or you have a car that you really love and you don't want anything to happen to it and you want to make sure everybody is on the up and up, you can turn that off and you can put everybody has to be, you have to approve everybody. But like I said, for my home location, I just have it booked instantly. Now for delivery locations, I have to approve it. Again, because I want to know how far I'm going. I want to know where they're at. I want to know if I even want to take that trip or not. Guest locations, which is the airport, I have to approve that as well. Again, because the same reason, I want to know Like, it was my birthday weekend and somebody had booked the car to the airport, but I was already out. I had already had plans. It was a lot of stuff going on. There was no way I was going to be able to take that car to the airport in the morning at 8 a.m. So I'm glad I had it on to where I had to approve or decline the trip. Now we were able to like negotiate through the Messenger app where they would come pick the car up as opposed to me taking it to them, and it kind of worked out. But in that, if I didn't have that on, it would have just approved it, and then I would have had to decline the trip, and then that hurts your rating as a host. So that's something that you don't want to happen. So see how soon guests can book. So 1 hour from the house, delivery up to 6 hours, guest location 2 hours. Now 2 hours means they can book 2 hours prior to their pickup if I'm taking it to them, right? The airport, 6 hours. I need to know a little bit more before, just 2 hours away. And then my house, 1 hour, I'm good. I live by the car wash. They can complete the car up from here. It's good. 1 hour is good enough for me. That's all I need. Like I said, if you live far or you're not close to home, give yourself more time here. If your airport is far away, give yourself more time. If your drop-off range is bigger, give yourself more time. Because the last thing you want is for you to be late to pick up to your host. They're waiting at the airport. They leave you a bad review. It's just downhill from there. So give yourself enough time on that. Trip bufferings. This is how much time between each trip. Now, crazy story, right? Just recently, I had a drop off 5 a.m. drop off to my apartment, right? They dropped off the car, and then I had a booking at 8 a.m. right after, right? So 5 a.m. drop off, 8 a.m. pickup. Now, mind you, I told you I have to wash the car. I need to gas the car. I need to disinfect the car. The car wash didn't open until 7 a.m. So I had to get up, run to the car wash, get gas, do all these things, and then be present for the person to pick up at 8 o'clock. But if I didn't have that trip buffering, imagine if those two pickups and drop-offs were back to back. I wouldn't have had time to do those things, and then it would have messed up, again, my rating. I wouldn't have been ready. The car would have been dirty, all those things. So you want to have that trip buffering on for sure. And the more, of course, the less trip buffering you have and all those things, you'll get more bookings. But I'd rather have less bookings, or I would have more quality bookings and know that I'm getting things done right between my trips. All right. Shortest duration, any. Longest duration, any. I don't care. If you want to take the car for 2 hours, by all means, it's going to charge you for a day anyway. If you want to take the car for 3 weeks, do your thing. I don't care, as long as you're paying me, right? So requiring longer trips, two-day minimum for long trips starting on Friday or Saturday. So the weekends, you want to be able to capitalize. Weekends, most people are taking it like Friday to Sunday, Friday to Monday. You don't want somebody to pick up the car on a Friday and then take it for a Saturday, and then it messes up your whole weekend, your weekend rides. So somebody who's like, yo, I wanted to take it on Friday, but there's a booking from Friday to Saturday, I can't really get it till Saturday, then their trip is going to be Saturday to Sunday. So you want to make sure it's a 2-day minimum for trips that are on the weekend. I will consider long trips. Like some people will say, hey, can I take it for a month? Can I take it for 2 weeks? I'm all for it. I don't really care. Again, if you're emotionally attached to your car and it's something you really, really care about, and you don't want to, somebody gone in your car that long, take that off. Just turn it off, because it's not going to work for you. As soon as that booking comes in and you're like, oh man, they're going to be gone for 3 weeks in my car, and you're going to be nervous every day, don't do it to yourself. Just turn it off. Okay. So that's under trip preferences. So you want to be able to go through this all the way down without skipping anything. All right. Drop a 7 in the chat if any of this is making sense and it's helping you. I just want to know we're still tapped in. 7 in the chat. Let me know we're good. All right, cool. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So you want to go to Turo.com, get your free account, do your market research. Like I said, your market research is important, and then you want to list your car. Now, what do I mean by market research? Okay. I want to show that to you right now, because like I said, I want you to know exactly what that looks like. So market research means you can come up here. I'm in Houston. Okay. I'm in Houston. Wherever you are, that's where you are. Make sure you're searching your area. Again, like where I'm at, it may not be the same for you. It may be totally, totally different. So asking those generic questions of what car is best, and should I get a new car? Should I use a used car? What those don't work, because the answers are not always going to be the same. Okay. So like if I come in here, I know, okay, this guy has 6 trips. He has a super all-star host, 5 trips. He's an all-star host. Like my area, Teslas are everywhere. There would be no way I would go get a Tesla. There's 1,000,001 Teslas on this app for Houston. It's like oversaturated. So there's no point of me going to get a Tesla. Now, maybe another area, they may not have a lot of Teslas, so that may work. But for us, look at all these Teslas just right here on the first page. Tesla, Tesla, Tesla. I'm not going to go get another Tesla and then have to compete or have to drop my prices down, and then I'm losing because everybody else is already super host or they have a bunch of trips or things like that, right? So you got all these cars on here. So you can find out, okay, if you have a certain car, you can come in here and just change the price. So say, you know, okay, your car is kind of average. You want to look at like a $70 a day. So you come in here and you change that up and you see, okay, what's going for $70 a day? What are these cars? And you can't really go off like the year. Sometimes I've seen cars 2015, 2017 going for 125 a day, 150 a day. So it just varies. You know, if you know your car or what car you're going to be using, come on here and kind of range what you have based on what's here. And then you can see, okay, their car is cool, but I'm going to do this, or I'm going to drop it for $10 less for the weekend, or go see if they're booked up a lot, how many trips, find some super host in your area, see what they're doing and copy it, right? 15 trips, but he's not a super host. You know what I mean? So if 15 trips, that's cool, but you're not a super host. So something's going wrong in there. Either your people are not leaving reviews, whether they're not happy, maybe you have a bunch of restrictions on your drop off, your pickup, something's happening for you to have 15 trips and not have that yet, okay? So you can come in here, just research, look at the cars, look at some of these pictures. Some of these pictures are trash. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? If you have the same car, but they have this foggy picture and it just looked like this, you come in, you kill it with a good picture, and then all of a sudden you're getting all the trips, right? So you just gotta know what you're working with, what you're dealing with, and how to like navigate, because you can easily come in and know, okay, this person's doing good, I'm gonna just do the same thing. Or this person's doing bad, but we have the same cars, so I'm gonna just, you know, take what they said, flip it, do a little bit more. Right? So you can do that, but do your research first. Don't just jump out here and just throw a car on here, not knowing what you're going against or what you're, you know, what people in your area are doing. And I know a lot of people get on here and they're like, they're trying to be greedy. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and get $200 a day. When in actuality, your car is really only going for $50 a day, $25 a day. Then you're not getting bookings and you're like, dang, it's not working. I don't know if this works for me. No, you just didn't do any research before you threw your car on there. All right, so you gotta do that first. Now, the next piece, like I said, list your car, market research. Now, how to protect yourself. This is the part, like I said, I want you to understand this, because this is the part where people are scared. What happens? What happens if my car is in an accident? What happens of this? What happens of that? I understand. But the first thing you have to do is detach your emotions. Take your emotions out of this, because once that car is gone, the car is just gone. Again, we've all broken the rules before. We've done something in the car, Airbnb. We've done it. So just expect it to happen in your car, okay? But Turo has a lot of different options as far as protection plans, okay? Protection plans, you have to choose it at the time when you list that car. And you can change it, of course, later on if you want to. Now, the lowest one is the 60% plan. The 60% plan, it's 0 incident of physical damage to your vehicle. So you pay no deductible. Yes, you're giving up 40% of your profits to Turo, but if something happens in your car, you won't have to pay any deductible, right? You go, you show the pictures, you show them, you know, what happened, they approve, whatever, no deductible. Now you have plans in between, a 75, an 85, you have those things in between. Of course, you can go do your own research, and then you have the 90%, right? People will come on being greedy. Oh, I'm gonna do the 90%. I want 90% profit. Yeah, that's great, until something happens. Until something happens in your car, and then you have to come out of pocket $2,500 before they even fix your car. Before they even think about fixing your car, touching your car, doing anything, you have a deductible of $2,500. Now, I know that some people who have multiple cars listed, say you have 5, 10 cars listed and you're making money all the way around, then a $2,500 deductible won't really bother you. It's very less likely for all your cars to be in an accident at the same time. So of course, if you have 10 cars and one gets into an accident, you have 9 cars out, you can pay the $2,500 and you'll be fine. But imagine if you only have 1 car and then something happens, boom, you got to pay the $2,500 before they ever start on your car. Now, you may not have that up front. You may not be able to just go pull $2,500 from somewhere, and then the whole time your car is off the road. It's not making any money. God forbid that's the car you use for your, yourself. You're definitely not able to drive it because you can't cover that $2,500 deductible. So I would say for people starting out, I recommend the 60%. When you're just getting started and it's your first car on the road and you're just trying to learn the platform, go the 60% route. No deductible. Don't worry about that kind of stuff, right? Turo pays 100% eligible damage cost and you have no deductible. Yes, you give up 40%, but that's cool. Until you get enough capital to, saved up where you can say, okay, I'm going to up my plan. Now, the ones in between, like 500, there's a 1500, and there's a 25. So maybe you can just find one in between. As you start to make more money, then you can start getting more profits on the back end. But in the beginning, go 60%. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Go 60%, protect yourself. Don't worry about anything. Just learn your ropes, learn the platform, get a couple of bookings under your belt, and then up it, right? Don't up it out the gate, right? How to scale up. Scaling up is really, really cool because you get one car on the platform, right? And I want to be able to show you guys what one car is doing right now for me. Okay, one car is what I have on the platform. I haven't listed the other cars yet. And I wanted to wait for this training so I can show you guys just one car. All right, so earnings. I'm going to go to one car, and it's a 2014 Chevy Impala. It's not a fancy car. It's not a luxury car. Very basic car, 2014, I think 2014, 2015, I'm not really sure, right? So look, in the first month, we did $501. $501 is what I made in the first month of listing my car. And keep in mind, I listed my car mid-month. I listed my car June the 11th. My first trip was June the 13th, okay? Second month, July, we're at 588. We're at 588 already. We're already at the 27th. And then already future bookings, we're already at 532. So in my future bookings alone, I'm already close to what I made in the month of July. That means that these trips have not happened yet, that they've already been booked though, okay? So you wanna be able to see that. So just off one car, and it's when June 11th to right now it's July 27th, we're at $1,000 earnings, okay, already. Now again, you can scale that thing up, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, but you have to make it make sense, right? If you know that you're gonna use a car that has a car note on it, you wanna be able to cover your car note. That's the first thing you wanna do out the gate. What is your car note price and what is your insurance price? That is what you wanna cover. What does it cost to maintain the car, all that stuff. And then after that is where you come into profits, okay? So if you want to drive your dream car, right? You say, I wanna get a, I don't know, whatever car it is, right? Lamborghini, and your note is $1,200 a month and your insurance is $500, you know $1,700 all in is what you're at. You have to be able to clear $1,700 a month before you can say, well, I'm gonna just drive my car. Until it makes you your money back, you should keep it listed on the app. Now, let's just say a week in to the month, you already have your car booked and you've made $2,000. You can turn the app off and drive your Lamborghini for free for the rest of the month, right? You can do that if you wanted to. But if you're running a business or if you want to really scale this thing up, you have to make it make sense, right? Don't go out here and go crazy getting all these car notes or, putting on there and then you're not making the money because you're spending it or things like that. Then your car note comes up and you're like, oh, dang, I already spent all my profits. So, pay your bills first. Then after your bills is when you have your profit. Okay. So scaling up your business, buying a cash car or getting a finance car. This is a question that I know a lot of people want to know. Should I get a new car? Should I use my car? Should I get a cash car? Right? If you have a car already and it's just sitting and you're not using it that much, then I would say go with what you have. But you got to think about it. If your car gets booked and you have to go somewhere, you won't have the car, right? You don't know when somebody's going to book. Of course you can turn on where you have to approve it. But again, that just brings down your booking ratings. So if you have one car and it's your only car, be mindful about that. But I would say if you can, use what you already have. If you know you can make money off of it, use what you have, right? Paying cash for a car. Now, paying cash for a car, you're taking that capital and you're saying, let's spend in $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a cash car. You have to think, you don't go into profit until you pay that car off, until you pay that $5,000 back, until you pay that $2,000 back, right? Yes, you don't have a car note. Yes, you don't have all this other stuff because the car is paid off, but you can't call yourself in profit until you recoup that $2,000 back, right? So you got to think about that. Cash cars, yes, you can get some cheap ones and then you're not worried about it. It is what it is, but you got to think you put that capital up front, $2,000, $3,000 up front, and you got to wait. Now, financing a car, this is kind of what I like to do. This is what I did. Let's just say you finance a car. You go and get you a regular Kia, Nissan, or whatever, and your car note is $200, right? $200 car note. $200 car note, and you say your insurance is $125, right? You're all in for $325 for the month. You can book 3 or 4 bookings and your car is paid off. Now the rest of the profit is your money to do whatever you want with. You can actually go and get another car. That same $2,000, $3,000 you were going to put down for a cash car, you can go get 2 or 3 cars and finance them. Now you have 2 notes at 500 or 2 notes together at 700, right? You can do that and keep more of your capital up front to do more with it on the back end. So again, you can do whatever you choose, whatever makes the most sense to you, but just think about it first before you just jump out there. And I know people want to go get new cars, right? I'm going to go get a new car to put on Turo. Accidents are going to happen. People are going to crash your car. People are going to spill stuff in your car. They're going to smoke in your car. They're going to do all this. Do you really want to go get a brand new car to put on an app for somebody to dog it out? Because it's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Oh, nothing's going to happen. It's going to be great. People are going to do things. They're going to spill stuff. It's going to happen. So do you really want to go and do that and go get your credit and go buy a brand new car off the lot to put on Turo? Okay. More cars equal more money. Work the numbers for your startup, work the monthly cost, and work your estimated profit, right? So right now, all in, the car is $200. The insurance, like I said, is $125, $325 all in. For the month, we're already at $1,000. So we're good, right? On this side, off one car, we're good. Now it's time to scale it up. So that's what I plan on doing going forward, is getting 2 more cars to put on the platform and be able to scale it up from there, okay? So you got to decide what you're going to do. But I would say start with one car. Start with one car, get yourself acclimated, and then scale up. Don't just jump into it, getting excited and go get a bunch of cars, okay? Understanding the numbers, right? So here's 2020, right? One car, $3,000. 2020, that was last year, right? So this is just one car. Now, depending on what the car was, depending on all those things, I just want to show you guys the range where it could happen. Nobody can tell you what your car is going to do. I can't tell you, oh, your car's going to do 1,500. Your car's going to do 2,000. We don't know that. I don't know your market. I don't know what your car offers. I don't know your extras. I don't know any of those things. So asking that question is a hard thing. We can't tell you that. So again, like, this is one car and it did $3,000 in 2020, right? July, up to July. So my car, you just seen that it's only at like 1,500, all in 1,500. They have $179 upcoming earnings. But you got to understand, as you understand your numbers, as you understand your market, as you start to really get into it, and you start seeing, okay, well, my car typically does this. People tend to book here. I know when I add this, more people book, or when I open up the time, more people book. You'll start learning your numbers, right? And then you want to make it scalable. You can choose how many cars you want. I know people who have 40 cars on Turo, 14, 3, 1, whatever you want, you can do that. Some people have a fleet, right? They have a rental fleet. 30 plus cars, 40 plus cars, and they've made it an actual business, and you can do that as well. And then you want to make sure it's accessible. Start with your car you already own if you have one. Buy one, get one for cheap, put it on there. Don't start out. Some people go into luxury rentals. Yes, they have, Lamborghinis and all those like crazy cars. You can do that. But I wouldn't suggest just going out tomorrow and getting a Lamborghini to put on here. You don't know anything about it. What happens if there's an accident? How do you deal with that? What does the insurance look like? What are you making? Maybe your area is not hot for Lambos. You go out and get one and now you're stuck. You don't know what to do, right? So make sure that you know it's accessible, your numbers, and you're learning that. And then make sure you're flexible. Whether you want to commit long-term or short-term, if you want to do this part-time or full-time, just be flexible with yourself, right? If okay, I work during the day and I'm only free in the evenings, you might have to adjust your pickup and drop-off times. Yes, it may slow down your bookings, but if that's what works for you and you're making an extra $200 or $300 a month, that works. Maybe you're not looking to make thousands of dollars. Maybe you're not looking to make this a business. You just want a few bookings to cover your car note. That's cool. You just have to know what your flexibility is and like how you want to function and how you want to run your business. Because at the end of the day, it's your business. You can do whatever you want. All right. They have built-in tools, right? The app has a bunch of tools. It tells you all your numbers. It shows you your calendar. You can message people through there. You can call them through there. So it's already set up. It's literally a business in a box. As soon as you set it up and you put your car on there, everything is accessible. You can mark it on there. You can message. You can call. You can do. You can search. You can see your analytics. You can kind of go ahead and say, okay, well, this is working. This is not working. Everything is available to you. And then you got to think, if you were going to start this business on your own, you would have to go do all these things yourself. You would have to build a platform. You have to build a website. You have to market. You have to do all this, get insurance, right? So if you're somebody who says, I'm just looking to start a business right now today, you can do that through this platform. You can literally just say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to test it out. Throw your car on there, see what happens, right? Test it out. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you don't like meeting people. Maybe you don't want to drive to the airport, right? In the beginning, I had both of my airports listed. I had one person for a trip out to that airport. I said, oh no, I'm not doing that anymore. That's not something I want to do. And I literally turned it off. So you have to figure out what works for you and then just go off of that, okay? Here are a few resources that I want to be able to give to you guys, right? Swap a lease. Swap a lease is a website that allows you to go pick up other people's leases and be able to take over. So say you want to get like a Lamborghini or Bugatti or whatever you want to get, right? And somebody has a lease or finance on it and they have 4 months left, you can go in there and pick up their lease. Now you don't have to worry about a 12-month. You don't have to worry about taking all this responsibility. 4 months in and out, right? You can do that. So it costs $74 for a membership on that site. And that gives you access to all the cars. Like you can go on there and look now, but if you want to like communicate with sellers and stuff like that and negotiate, you're going to pay the $75, but you can pick up a lease from anywhere in the world. Some people actually pay you to take their lease. They want to get out of that car so bad and they don't want to break the lease or they don't want to break, the contract. They're just like, look, I'll pay you $500 to take over this lease. Right? The car may be in another city or state. You can say, hey, look, I'll take it over if you pay for the transfer fee, the delivery fee. You guys can negotiate that. But there's a ton of cars on there. You can find some in your area. Like I said, you can find regular cars all the way up to luxury vehicles, and that's swap a lease. So I think that works really well. This is a GPS tracker. This one is $29.99. There's a bunch of trackers out there. Do your research, do what you want. But I would just say, just for your peace of mind for yourself, put in a tracker on your car. So if anything happens, I've heard horror stories. People have gotten their car stolen. People have, some of their guests got arrested and the car was in an impound somewhere and they don't even know what the car is, right? Some people will say, yeah, I'm coming to drop the car off at 7 and it's 10 o'clock at night. The person just stopped replying. Those things happen, right? Those things happen. Now, some cars already have a built-in GPS system, which is cool. But if you don't have one, you can go straight to Amazon, get this tracker, and you can put it into the car. They have kill switches where you can put it onto the engine. And then if you want to go to the app and turn the car off, you can turn the car off, right? If someone's like not replying or you would say, hey, your drop off was at 7, it's 8:30 and they're not replying, turn the car off, kill it. And then you have to go pick it up or you have to go get it towed, but at least you can get your car back. Like I said, I've heard stories. People's cars go missing. It might happen. I don't know. So that's why I said you have to be able to just disconnect yourself from the emotions. Don't worry about it. If it's gone, it's gone. You have insurance. You're covered. Those things happen and it's going to happen. So at least if you put a tracker on it, you'll feel better. You'll know about it. They have some that you can track the speed. Like I know a lot of guys who have like the luxury cars, the race cars, stuff like that. They'll put that on there so people can't go fast in their car. So as soon as they go over like a certain mile that you set, you'll get an alert and you can say, hey, I see you're going 100 miles per hour. Can you please slow down? Right? And then they do it again, kill the car, turn it off. And then you can go ahead and charge them. You can charge them for the tow. You can charge them whatever you want because they broke the rules, right? There's different apps that you can get, different trackers that you can get. Again, if you just have a regular car, I wouldn't go all out and put all that extra on there. But if you have something that you care about, something that you really want to make sure people are taken care of, spend the extra money. $29, $59, $69, whatever it costs for your peace of mind and knowing your car is safe, do that, okay? Do that, make sure your car is good. Now that's just one that I recommend. It's kind of on the cheaper side, 29 bucks. There's some that go up. There's some that have monthly subscriptions on them. Again, do your research, okay? Here's a little bonus hack, right? This has helped me a lot. Unlimited car wash clubs. I think every city has a car wash place and you can get the unlimited wash, right? The unlimited wash, one, it sounds good to the renter, right? Hey, you have an unlimited wash, right? Guys, at the end of the weekend, you're ready to go out, you're ready to turn up. You don't want to take a dirty car, right? Say you went, it was raining, right? It's raining and now you're about to go to your hotel, you're about to change and you want to go out in your car, but it's dirty. You don't want to have to go pay for a car wash. So just imagine if the host had an unlimited car wash club sticker, they can just run their car through a car wash or drop it off or do whatever, and you've already paid for it, right? So even when people drop the cars off, like I said, I live next door to a car wash. So when people, they're running late or they're in a hurry, they can shoot right over to the car wash next door to me, run through it and bring me the car back. That's one thing I don't have to do, right? But it helps them because they don't have to pay for it out their pocket. I pay $24 a month for unlimited washes on my car. So when I have to go take the car to somebody or I have to do something, I just run through the car wash, do what I got to do, and then bring it back, right? So this is a good feature that adds like a bonus. It adds this feature to your car that the next car probably doesn't have. Yes, it's $24 a month, but that $24 a month really turns your car up a whole nother level, okay? What makes you unique? Think outside the box with your cars. Don't be basic, don't be boring, right? If there's 10, 20 cars that are the same on Turo, do something to your car or do something to your listing that's gonna make you stand out, or it's gonna give you some kind of identity. Some people wrap their cars, some people put crazy names in the title, the descriptions, they go all out, like they do themed cars, they do all these different things, because it's like, okay, if there's 20 cars that are the same, but yours is that one that stands out, you're gonna get way more bookings. It may just be one little tweak, right, to the title, just to the title. Somebody may have a C300 Benz and you say the Black Hawk C300 Benz XYZ, right? You do that and then all of a sudden it's just going crazy. Now more people are booking your car. Just one little tweak to the car makes a big difference, okay? So we got that. So 7's in the chat if you got some value. I want to leave the chat box open, and I want to allow you guys to unmute yourself so we can get some questions. But before we get out of here, I want to be able to offer you guys a bonus, a promotional bonus to you guys. I'm dropping the course and I'm offering my mentorship. For everybody who stayed on the call today, it's going to be $149.99. You're going to get access to my complete course. You're going to be able to get me one-on-one 24/7, and you're going to get the option to market and host with me, right? I'm going to be getting more cars in other networks and other areas and things like that. And you're going to be able to work with me. So we can partner together on a car. Say me and Blue want to go get a Lamborghini and the note's going to be $1,000 a month. Hey, Blue, you want to partner? Bet. All right, what's the note? 1,000. What's the insurance? 300. We're at 1,300. We bust it down the middle. Now the car is in Atlanta. Blue takes care of the pickup and the drop off, and we split the car profits every single month, right? So being a part of my mentorship program, you're going to get access to that. I'm going to give you all my templates, all my forms, all my check-in, check-out lists. You're going to get access to all those things for $149.99. Now, again, you guys are the first people who've ever seen this, so you get first dibs, right? You get first dibs. I'm not going to take on a lot of people because I don't want to get overworked by doing this. So you guys get it first, you get it here. And then after that, I'm going to up it and it's going to become $297.99, guys. I'm really taking this thing to the next level. I'm going to be pouring in some Airbnbs. I'm going to be doing a lot of other things in the mix because like I said, someone who needs a car is going to need a place, right? Turos and Airbnbs are going to go hand in hand. If you're inside of the mentorship program, you're going to be one of the first people to get access to that. So guys, thank you so much again. I appreciate, just taking that time to tap in and be here. Again, I'm going to open up the call so you guys can ask